One. Hello, everyone.
Welcome back. Ah. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome to this new episode on our thoughts about this trio channeling with Ra, with the dragons, and with Ashtar. And so, if you haven't watched the recording yet, you can click on the description.
Yes, and wow, I felt a very gentle fire, a gentle but powerful fire, and I love that. How was your experience, Caroline?
Uh, it was quite an experience, as this is the first time that we record a video with the dragons. Um, so it's like if they are coming from more far away. Um, but they're very yes, gentle. It's like if they are just coming, very nicely, and they were very happy to take part of the conversation. However, it's like if they are still in a observing state, or if they are, or probably as they are the guest. They don't dare taking all the attention. They were very careful to not speak too much and to not step back, but to be very humble. In fact, that's the term. Um, and it was quite funny because Ashtar is very more natural, and it's more easy for me to channel Ashtar, so the words are coming more easily with Ashtar. And at some point, I had to. It was funny because I took some notes here and there, and so Ashtar wanted me to take some notes. The dragons wanted me to take some notes, and so I had to split the paper sheet into two columns. What they want to speak about, what Ashtar wants to speak about, and at some point they all wanted to speak about the same topic. So yes, I think the energies were very sweet, very loving. How about you, Leo?
Yes, I could feel
What
that
are
as well.
your thoughts on this trio channeling?
I thought it was amazing. I love the energy of the dragons. They're very, what I felt, yes, very honorable and also very wise, gentle, caring. And just as you say, I think they were just they wanted to be very gentle. They didn't want to come in here with too much energy because they are extremely powerful, of course. But they're very wise as well, so they understand when too much is too much. And so I think that the energy that they shared was just perfect. It was like a gentle flame. Um, and yes, I thought that was kind of the theme throughout that maybe they're saying that fire doesn't have to be chaotic because I think a lot of times when you think of fire, that's chaos. That's a bit on the energy that's attached to that word. But I think they were kind of redefining it in that it doesn't have to be chaotic. It can actually be, as the dragons say, controlled in a way, stabilized in a way, pressurized in a way that's loving and gentle, so that doesn't go out of control, but it's stable. And I think that's how they were portraying the energies throughout the channeling. So I thought it was perfect. And yeah, was there any topic that they spoke about that really resonated with you?
Many, because in fact I was surprised that they would say this or this and that.
Hmm.
And so yes, I was sensing, regarding the Kundalini energy.
Hmm.
Uh, while you were channeling Ra, speaking about the Kundalini energy, I could feel Ashtar wondering whether they wanted to speak about that or not. It's like if they were assessing if they would speak. And then Ashtar said, no, 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 we are not, you humans, you're not ready. And it was quite the same for the dragons. The dragons didn't know whether they should answer or not. So they first, it's like if they were, as they were the guests, it's like if they turned to Ashtar, and depending on the reaction of Ashtar, they they then adjusted. And if Ashtar would have jumped and answered the question about the Kundalini, the dragons would have followed. But as they were the guests, and they were they first looked for some kind of um, confirmation or authorization to speak about this topic. And so it's the first time that Ashtar refuses to answer a question during one of found this such a channeling. Uh, and yes, I could feel afterwards, but you will tell me how you felt at that time, at that moment. I could feel that after Ashtar saying, "No, we don't want to answer," and then the dragon saying, "We won't answer as well." Then yes, I could feel the energies were quite dense or lower, and the dragons were doing those signs, in order to lighten, to make it lighter, to make the energy going lighter, and to be more joyful. Um, how did you perceive this Leo?
Yes, I could definitely see that there was some disappointment in the crowd of kind of like, oh, I wanted to know more, but why are they? Um, I think this was definitely done on purpose to emphasize the that we really need to be clarified. We really need to have the life flowing within our life and our body beforehand if we want to have a nice, smooth experience working with Kundalini. Because I know from personal experience, I know from friends around me working with Kundalini that if it is not done in it's honestly, I think, very akin to a psychedelic. If it's not done in the right set and setting, then it could lead to overactivation, over bringing up, over, uh, yes. So there's a lot that will have to be processed, which can be done more effectively, smoothly in our day to day by just um, cultivating in other ways. And also, the one thing that Ra wanted to mention as well was that the Kundalini is always already active. It's the energy that in a way, the pathway of going down the spine, base of the spine, and back up, this is always happening. It's just a matter of how much and how much is your capacity for it happening. And so when they were saying that you don't need to actively, consciously try to activate your Kundalini in order to become enlightened, this was a part of that. It's because just as you just go about your day to day with the main intent of, okay, I'm here to experience, I want to experience more joy, whether it's with my own body self or with those around me. Okay, how will I do that? What are some ways? What are some practical ways? As we just cultivate in this practical way, our Kundalini naturally activates, and it's done in a more harmonious, step-by-step, gentle way. And really, the act of trying to activate the Kundalini like this is very much akin to taking a psychedelic substance. And so it's very high packet of information at once. And so we need to process that in that moment very quickly. And if our system isn't already lubricated and smooth flowing, then it will lead to a bit of chaos and turmoil. So this is definitely their sort of warning of, be careful, guys. This is not, you are in a way taking a drug, like a high dose drug, by working with Kundalini if you choose to do this. So it must be done with care and wisdom. And so this is definitely their message, I feel. And I think timing is perfect because also sense as more and more of the world is opening up and waking up, naturally I feel many of us gravitate towards, oh, Kundalini energy. I could activate this and I'll be energized and stuff, but we don't have the full picture and how to approach it more wisely. And so I think by them sharing this as sort of a warning, a heed to pay attention to this and not take it lightly, I think that's very, very good and very practical. So I think it was all for the better, and I think yes, it was perfect.
So, Leo, did you already try to activate your Kundalini in a very active way, I should say?
Yeah, yeah. And so I would say the beginning sort of introduction for me was Joe Dispenza, Dr. Joe, of course, a great, great spiritual teacher known to many. and he teaches a specific breath work that utilizes the squeezing of the perineum and the core and drawing, like you suck up the energy and draw it up like a straw, and you pressurize your core and lower centers, and you kind of pump it and draw it up. This is how I was drawn to it. He definitely I think he t absolutely teaches it wisely. Um, and so yes, when I was doing these experiences, my definitely was definitely activated, and it was I would say it was overactivated, but it wasn't overactivated. In other words, looking back, look, it was, yes, it was definitely overactivated. I was definitely overstimulated many times of just being like, woohoo, whoa, sort of all over the place. But it didn't really lead to chaos. So I feel from that sense, it was good. It was a good experience. I definitely don't regret it. But I could see very clearly how if I overdone it just a little bit, it could have overactivated too much, and then I would have not set me back, but it would have taken me on a bigger spiral loop than than necessary. And so I feel it worked perfectly, but I definitely understand why they're being very, because yes, we humans do have a tendency to want things now. I want it now. Why isn't it happening? Let's get it. Come out. And this sort of energy, while great and fiery, is not a sustainable one. It leads to a depletion. So I think or overactivation. So I think yes, the warning, if you want to call it that, was perfect.
And yes, I totally agree on the fact that they wanted to approach the question of fire with care, meaning that whoever holds the fire, it has to be done with care and an intent and a greatest purpose for everyone. And I think that was a great message because to be honest, I didn't expect such a message. I didn't expect. I think I didn't expect any of the message that they said, and I was even more surprised when they spoke about sexuality. And I was quite very surprised. And then I could feel that the dragons, they wanted to use a word, and they had the word, and they thought, yes, but if you use it, it will create a kind of joke in our minds. And so we have to find another word, and they were searching for another word. Then it came stable. But it was quite funny because first I was very surprised that they would speak about this, and then yeah, the dragons kind of jumped on the question, even though they did not remember. At some point, it was interesting because they didn't know what they were supposed to say. They did not remember the question of Ra because first it was Ra asking the question to Ashtar, so Ashtar answered, and then Ashtar passed the mic to the dragons, and the dragons, they lost track of the questions, and so they didn't know what to say, and so they kind of spoke about, okay, we will speak about one topic, and then afterwards they remembered the question, so they connected the dots. But it was yes, it was all very interesting, but quite surprising from for me from time to time, um, because I did not expect those reactions or those topics to come. Um, and yeah.
Mhm. Yes, I was actually very happy they spoke about this because it's such a I think it's an important topic to speak about at times because it's such an important part of life, of human life, of life in general. And I think a lot of the times it's kind of seen from a taboo lens, even in the spiritual community, where it's like, oh, sex is too physical, or But I love what Ross says, that it's about harmonization, it's about wholesomeness, it's about enlivening, it's about ascending our experience of all aspects of our life, including the sexuality. And I totally resonate with this. I think this is what it's about. It's not about neglecting or ignoring. It's about embodying the joyful state so that when we look at these things, we're not looking at it from a cloudy, fearful lens, but a more vibrant, oh, there's nothing wrong with this. This is part of life. Let's embrace it sort of lens.
Yeah, and it totally relates also to it's the continuation of the topic about the irrigation system or
Yeah,
irrigating our minds, where they said that we have to feel the excitement or be excited about every area of our life, and that we first must assess, okay, am I happy where I live? Yes, no, where would I like to live? And then to make the changes. But whether it's about the living, the location where we are in, or it can be about the work, about friends, about family, about everything, to assess and then make to the adjustments so that we are very happy and feel the excitement. And so the topics were a continuation to continue to, it was another way to see this irrigation system, not through a grounded way, not through a watery way, but through a fiery way to feel really the excitement.
yeah,
And this exciting part or excitement part is very, very crucial, I guess, for our yes evolution. That we have to feel this joy in every aspect of our life, and as you say, that we must not neglect one topic or another topic or one thing or another, and to yeah see how we can feel this joy in every single moment, whatever we are doing or interacting with, or yeah.
I agree. I agree.
Would you like to add something else, Leo?
I Nothing else is really coming to mind. I suppose except Happy Halloween for those celebrating.
Right.
And yes, they did. So originally we were thinking that the topic of rebirth would be spoken about, and so it would tie into Halloween very nicely. So we created this background, and you can't see it all, but there's some Halloween features, and it changed. And so what I actually realized from this experience is that it really isn't the words that we speak out of our mouth isn't really the most important. It's really the energy that we're expressing through our whole beingness, whether that is through our mouth and voice or but really, through our whole body movement and everything. And that is really what the message is. That's the message itself, the energy. And the words are to help carry that energy. But so even before this channeling, we were like, okay, so maybe we should write down a little bit of the main topics of what our guides want to speak about. And we got a good, I think it was three or four. And the first one was, of course, what is fire? What is fire to us? And then so we started with that, but then it really just grew by itself on its own and we covered a lot of the topics that we wrote down, but it was done in a very organic sort of way and led by our guides and everything. So it formed so perfectly and so I think that yes, even though the topics may seem uh, different or different class or however we may see it, segregated, it is all truly connected. And as we embody more of this harmonious, joyful energy, we can really begin to connect all these dots together and see that, oh, it is all connected in this way. It does all make sense in this way. Yes.
Yes, I think that every channeling that we make, they are all interconnected, and in fact, our guides choose to speak about what they want. And as we have seen, if they don't want to speak about one topic, this is very clear that they are not going to speak about it. So that's great because I think this is a way also that we got to see them even maybe more or. Um, Yes, this is interesting. They lead the conversation, I think, and not you and I, Leo and Caroline, even though we wrote some things down, as Leo said. In fact, we are not the ones who are making what they are going to say. And therefore, we are surprised, such as today, for instance. And yes, we thought that maybe we would talk about rebirth or maybe they would want to speak more about Halloween, but in fact, no, they have their own, they want to speak about their topics, and it all went perfectly, I think. Everything was very interesting, and as for me, as I don't remember many things, to be honest, I think I remember mostly nothing. I will have to watch the recording, and I think that, as usual, there is much to take from the messages, and that there are messages behind the messages, and as you say, energies behind the messages here and there. So everything went very perfectly, I guess.
Yes, I agree.
So we
Well,
hope that you enjoyed both the recording and this new episode on our thoughts. And we wish you all a great day. I also want to thank our guides, the Ashtar, Ra, the dragons, and thank you all of you for joining. Thank you, Leo, also, because I tend not to thank you during these recordings. And so we will record another video soon.
yes, thank you all for joining. Thank you, guides. Thank you, Caroline. And yes, we will all gather again very soon.
Bye bye.
Bye.